The real-life counterpart of Martha from Baby Reindeer has had her first interview. And some of the things that she said are pretty questionable.
I don't think I sent him anything.
You never said him anything?
No.
So I assume by now most of you know the story of Baby Reindeer. It's been a pretty big topic over the last couple of months. If for some reason you don't know the story, let me break it down for you. Alright, so this guy, Danny Dunn, real name Richard Gadd, is a bartender and a stand-up comedian. One night, while Danny is working at the bar, a sad woman, Martha, comes in. Danny offers her a cup of tea to cheer her up, which was a bad move. She ends up getting obsessed and becoming a full-blown stalker, apparently sending up to 41,000 emails, calls, letters, and tweets. So yeah, a full-blown stalker. There is a lot more to this story, and I highly suggest watching it, but today we are focusing on the relationship between Richard and Martha. Baby Reindeer was a highly successful show. It was adored by critics and fans alike. But with the popularity and rise of shows based on real people and real events, comes the large debate about ethics. Once this show was released, it didn't take long for it to blow up. And many people were eager to learn who the real people were. So obviously it didn't take long for internet sleuths to track the real Martha down. But these actions are pretty much what this show is about. Being a stalker, to track down a stalker, seems a little bit hypocritical. Now obviously it is easy to point fingers at the people on the internet. And honestly, we should. The amount of people that they called out and collectively agreed were the real life counterparts of these problematic characters of the show is scary. You guys openly accused innocent people because someone on the internet had a hunch. Y'all should be ashamed. But I think the bigger person to blame here is Netflix. When it comes to creating stories based on real people and real events, you need to incorporate a certain level of protection, regardless of whether these people are good or bad. A lot of the antagonists in these stories obviously suffer from severe mental health issues and don't understand what they are doing is wrong. Don't get me wrong. What Martha did is messed up, and I do not ever condone that kind of behaviour. But it is absolutely Netflix's and the producer's responsibility to leave as little evidence in there as possible so that the real people cannot be tracked down. I mean, there is one scene where Danny is searching up an article on the internet, and this article exists in real life. Obviously, a few of the details are changed, but it is not hard to find. So, bit on the nose, isn't it, Netflix? I need to say this one more time for the people that think that this video is supporting Martha. I do not. What she did was wrong. Full stop. But you all need to watch the show properly and realize that what you are doing by hunting these people down is the exact opposite of the message that this show is trying to portray. I think we're so accustomed to seeing stalkers in media as being evil and murderous, but the fact of the matter is, most of these people suffer from severe mental health issues and have never had correct treatment. They don't understand what they are doing is wrong. I have dealt with a stalker before, but I knew that they needed professional help. So Netflix, maybe instead of paying your CEO $50 million, you could put some funding into a better mental health care system. Who am I kidding? That won't happen. Now expectedly, after this show was released, it didn't take long for the real-life Martha to be found. She started receiving hate mail and death threats from the supporters of Gadd, which again goes against the message of the show. Martha wanted to set her story straight, so she finally went on air and had her first interview, breaking down her story. She appeared on the Piers Morgan show denying the allegations that Gadd and Baby Reindeer made against her, claiming that the most she ever sent Gadd was a couple of emails.
I think there may have been a couple of emails exchanging, but that was it.
But not at all to the extent that Gadd and Netflix put out. I am not going to go into too much detail, nor am I going to tell you what to think. Don't get me wrong, there is a lot of questionable stuff in this interview, and I'm not sure that I believe what she is saying at all.
You actually tweeted him numerous times.
No, it wasn't numerous. It was about 18 tweets there, or 14
It's quite a lot to someone who's not that well known.
But if you want to come up with your own opinion, I'm going to leave the link to the interview below. But I am not here to say who is right or wrong between Martha and Richard. I want to use this platform to criticize Netflix, the lack of mental health aid, and honestly the way that the law deals with stalkers. In England alone, the country where Baby Reindeer was set, 2.5 million people deal with stalkers yearly. And when I dealt with a stalker, the police told me that there was absolutely nothing they could do until the stalker either threatened me, my partner at the time, or themselves. Even after they were eventually detained, they were put in a mental health ward for 12 hours and released the next day with no problems. And this is the exact same problem that Gadd went through, and I assume thousands, if not millions of people have gone through or are going through. That's the issue. Baby Reindeer is a prime example of what is wrong with the way society treats mental health concerns. And I'm not only talking about the actual story, I am talking about the backlash afterwards. As people, we crave entertainment, and that is the sad fact. This lady is clearly unwell, and she would have benefited greatly from the correct treatment. What Richard Gadd went through was traumatic, and I applaud him for the way he used Baby Reindeer to push the message across and really highlight the mental health aspects of his stalker. It is just a shame that not enough people understood that message of the show. Again, I am not taking Martha's side. She needs help. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry today's video wasn't as fun as usual. A homie just needed to rant.